Signs from God. Mysterious crosses appear over conflict and war zones and are claim of divine intervention. These bizarre signs that look like angels or crosses have recently been filmed in the Ukraine. We all recall last year was very terrible for the whole of the Ukraine, especially in the east, in the Donetsk, Lugansk region. And unfortunately, the conflict there is still going. It's still happening. People are still losing their lives just as they were in 2014, last year. This is an article on the Express UK dated December 16th. It has pictures of these Ukraine crosses and angels. One of these appearances is said to have been spotted over the MH17 passenger jet incident, that location there. Many viewers of these newly released videos to the public claim they are digitally edited hoaxes. But Mexicana Paranormal TV channel Tercer Milenio spent an entire report to this phenomenon. The host of the UFO investigation, Jamie Maussan, introduced the report, said, "We can clearly see a cross going up and down, and it's amazing," he said. "But there's something that I would like you to see, which is a reality that took place in an area of Greece, in the holy Mount Athos area, where there are over 20 monasteries, men's monasteries, and you will see a similar image there." Picture of a group of men who had gone on a pilgrimage to Mount Athos early December, about 10 years ago. My cleaning lady was a cleaning lady for a woman whose husband was one of the men here in this picture. They took this picture because they wanted to keep a record of the place where they had asked an elderly monk how to get from one monastery to the other, and he told them which path to take, and then he just disappeared. That's why they took the picture in the exact location where this monk had disappeared. He was obviously a saint. There are the invisible saints of Mount Athos. Perhaps he was one of them, or maybe he was just a deceased saintly monk, and who do appear to people from time to time. That's why they took this picture, and the result was that they saw these shapes, these light images behind them, which they could not see with their eyes. Now, for comparison, we have the YouTube screenshot, and you can see that it's the same exact thing. They're crosses. They're not angels, they're crosses. I had asked my father confessor what these shapes were that were behind the men who were on pilgrimage, and he says, "They're not angels, they're crosses." I said, "Well, they look like angels." He says, "Yes, but they are not angels, they are crosses." So for what was above Ukraine, then, we can safely say, as we were told by monk priest, an Orthodox monk priest, that they are definitely crosses. One of the things that I had wished to discuss with my father confessor and other Orthodox priests is what happens to a soul when it is removed from the body under a very forceful event, such as conflict or murder or a terrible accident. where the soul is immediately removed from the body. It doesn't happen as if, for example, someone who is sick and they know that they're going to pass away after a long illness. From what they say, the soul goes into a terrible shock. And we have to also remember that the moment that the soul exists, comes into existence out of nothing by the will of God, it is immediately joined to its body. And that is what it's striving towards later on, the unification of the soul with the body at the resurrection. So this is, I just put these pictures here so that you can see by comparison that they look exactly the same. One of the mysteries having to do with the human soul, the crucifixion. This is the symbol of their crucifixion. This is a picture that a friend gave to me. She was a cleaning lady at a woman's house, and she happened to be my cleaning lady. And as you can see here, we have similar looking things that we had in the Ukraine Crosses and Angels videos, pictures from the YouTube videos. You can see various, well, we thought they were angels because these people were a group of men that had gone on a pilgrimage to the Holy Mount Athos area. It was in the beginning of December, a few years back, actually over 10 years ago. And when they came home and developed pictures, they saw that the image had various shapes, and they thought they were angels. These shapes were everywhere, even in the background behind them. In the trees, there's another one there, there's another one there. They could not see these lights in the air, but they saw them, of course. The frequency of the photograph obviously was different than the frequency that the eye sees, the human eye can perceive. And this is what came out in the image of the photograph. The same thing again happened with a miracle that took place of people taking Holy Communion in Christ's tomb in Jerusalem. They didn't know that there was an angel standing there, but they saw it in the frame, the image, when they developed it. That's not a statue, that's an angel. We had this experience in 2 years ago in a little church in Athens, the north of Athens, called Ayosozon, in a little shanty town where people from the 99 earthquake still live because they lost their homes. Well, in that church, a little boy was baptized. The boy was about 7 years old, and I was trying to take pictures of his baptism to give him, and with the camera, through the lens of the camera, we were able to see an image of a light figure being standing next to the priest, just like this one here, which was, of course, an angel of God. We could not see it with our eyes, but we could see it through the lens of the camera. So God's angels are all around us, and they do exist. Now, as far as the shapes, these shapes are concerned, when I asked my father confessor what these were, I showed him the picture. I said, "Aren't those beautiful angels? The angels are all around us." He says, "No, those are not angels, they're crosses." We know that there are hundreds of thousands of anonymous saints that lived in the Holy Mount Athos, anonymous saints. And of course, with their prayer and fasting and penance to save and help the world, they first go through crucifixion in order to obtain resurrection and graces from God. So anyway, my father confessor says, "No, these are not angels, these are crosses," he says. So we will call them crosses. And these are the same crosses that we see of course, in the videos that were pictures and videos, images that were taken over Ukraine. I'll leave a link below for you for this.